Hello friends, welcome to Weightage, Object-Oriented Programming through C++, session Inheritance, and the topic is Types of Inheritance. And here we have two parts in this inheritance topic. The first one we are discussing and later second one. Coming to the first one, types of inheritance. Here we many examples of simple inheritance. In the previous one, we learned some program based on simple inheritance topic, and that is one class and one derived class. So we inherited the properties from one class to another class, one existing class to new class, base class to derived class, parent class to child class, superclass to subclass, like that. So here the process of inheritance can be either simple or complex. So in reusability, this inheritance is not only between only two classes, one class inherited properties taking and extending to another class, and we can use some extra variations also. So this simple inheritance, or sometimes maybe we can use the complex inheritance among the classes for reusability. So this depends on the following points. So before going to this complex inheritance point of view, we need to have some points to be remembered. The number of base classes and the derivation you are going to define the time nested derivation. Coming to the number of base classes, that is, a program can use one or more base classes to derive a single class. That it means a single class, a derived class, can be extended from the one or more base classes, as it is possible, but here it is not be like a simple thing. We need to do some extra exercise when we are extending the derived class or one or more classes, and sometimes we may derive the derived class can be act as a base class for another derived class. Some complex variations are there in this inheritance, and we will see in short time. Coming to the nested derivation, here the derived class can be used as a base class. This is very important, and this type of situation comes in the inheritance topic. We need to be very careful how the base class can be act as a superclass to the newly created derived classes, and but in turn we are creating these derived classes as a parent class to the other classes say existing in the program. So here a new class can be derived from it, as it is possible. This can be possibly at any extent of situation or time. So these are the points to be remind when we are going for applying or getting the complex inheritance. Coming to based on the above points, the inheritance can be classified as follows. The first one, single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance, and multi-path inheritance. So these types of inheritance we are going to discuss in the topic called types of inheritance. As a topic part 1, we are discussing these two, and later in the part 2 we will discuss the remaining inheritance topics clearly. So coming to the these types of inheritance, we are going to discuss one by one clearly how these properties can be extended in a single inheritance point of view, and how the multi-level inheritance can be achieved among the classes, and with the example programs also. So coming to the first one, single inheritance. So here this occurs when one base class used for the derivation of a derived class. As I told you, as it's considered as a simple inheritance. In this single inheritance, only one base class and one derived class can be participated, and the relation between this base class and derived class and the properties how can be extended from base class to derived class. So here the derived class is not used as a base class, as I told you the second point in the previous slide. So this derived class cannot be used as a base class for another new derived class. Such a type of inheritance that is has one base and derived class is known as a single inheritance. As we already know that simple inheritance is considered as a single inheritance here. This diagram clearly showing and indicating that this X is a base class here, this one base class, and this one is a derived class, then Y. Here this information give us some information about this. X is a base class, Y is a derived class. This type involves one base and derived class. Further, no class is defined from Y. So here consider class ABC is a base class and class small abc is a derived class, and the properties extending from this base class to derived class. So this is okay, but how this can be achieved with using programming point of view, we will see this example. So coming to the single inheritance example program. So here I have adopted one scenario of a particular person information based on the properties like, so see the class declaration point of view here. So class uppercase ABC, nothing but it is a one class existing here, and consider this as a base class for using to derive the properties extending to the new classes like derived classes. Here in this class I have defined one protected section, as already we know that why we define protected section, not public and private. That protected section means specifically it is useful for the derived classes to access these members defined under the protected section of the base class. So here there is a member variables like character name and integer age. So particular person information based on name and age we are accessing the data for this class is like this. And coming to class small abc. So this is a derived class here. So this is derived class, and this can be extended publicly for the base class uppercase abc. So this is public derivation of the derived class, and here it has two data members, height and weight. So in the base class we are collecting the information of a person, name and age. Here in this derived class we are collecting the information about height and weight of the particular person, and here we have a member function called get data to collect this information, name and age, weight and height, in this member function of the derived class. So see here, this name and age are the data members of the base class, and we are trying to access from this derived class without using any object or any other things, as it is directly allowed because this is the derived class. It can has rights to access the protected members of the base class. So same, we have a show function here. It displays the values what we collected for the information of a particular person, name, age, height and weight. So it displays those values on the screen by calling this function through the object of the derived class. Coming to the main function here, inside this I have defined one object to this ABC. Small abc is nothing but a derived class here, and X is an object of this derived class, and we can allow to call these get data and show function. These are the two member functions defined for the derived class. So by using this get data function we can read the data through keyboard as a statement given enter name and age here inside the member function of the derived class get data, and I have defined enter height and weight here. So we can read the data through keyboard and display this data on the output screen by calling the show function of the derived class through the X, that is derived class object, we can allow to access directly through the object. So when this get data function executed, the control will be work like this. It asks the user to enter the name and age, and it enters the name and age, and again it asks to enter the weight and height, and they collect the information. As this show function calling, it displays the output on the screen like name, age, height and weight, like this. This is the simple understand the program for single inheritance. And next we will go for second type of inheritance, so that is multi-level inheritance. So here the procedure of deriving a class from a derived class called multi-level inheritance. So here the property is completely clearly given in this diagram here. So X is a base class here, and we know sure about that. And here this Y is derived from X, Now it is a derived class, and that is extended the properties from class X, that is base class. And here we are using this derived class Y for as a base class to the other class called Z. So here this Y is special here in this inheritance, because this Y class can act as a derived class to the class X, and it can act as a base class for the derived class Z. So this is the inheritance called multi-level. Level by level we are creating or inheriting the properties and extending the properties from base class to derived classes. So here we have the scenario like X is a base class and Y is a derived class from X, and further Z is a derived class from Y. Here Y is not only a derived class but also a base class. So here Z can be used as a base class for another class like some P or N, like that. So this is the way of using inheritance multi-level. Consider there is a class A1 and class A2 is extending the properties of class A1, and class A3 is extending the properties from A2, and base class, derived class and middle class will act as a base class for the below hierarchy in the level. So here this A3 also allowed to access the properties of A, as it's a grandparent to this class A3. So we will see this detailedly in the concept here. In the above figure, once again here A3 is a derived class of A2, that is clearly given, and A2 is derived class derived from class A1, and A3 is derived class, and A2 is a derived class as well as a base class for class A3, and class A2 is called an intermediate base class. So here this important point, it is an intermediate base class, that is middle class, and it has a parent base class as well as child derived class. And the class A1 is a base class of A1 and A3. This is the thing I told you, that A3 can act as a grandchildren to the A1. So that is the properties we can inherit here. The series of classes A1, A2 is called as inheritance pathway. Here this word meaning is we are taking these properties into the way that the defining classes from the base class by level. Coming to the example program to understand more about this one. So here we have class A1, and the same example I have taken particular person information, name and age, and we have in a class A2 here, that is extended from publicly from A1. It is a derivation at first level, and A3 is a class derived publicly from A2. So this is derivation second level. So here we have example of this one. Here the special thing is A3. Here it having some methods to collect information about a person and displaying the person information on the screen using show function. In the get function, we read the data. In show function, we display the data. We are collecting the data about a person, name, age, gender, height and weight here. And actually this name and age are the data members of the base class A1. And this gender, height and weight are the members of the A2, and this gender is defined inside the A3, nothing but a derived class. And here if you observe, the sections defined in every class is protected. So protected is a keyword and access specifier, specially useful for inheritance topic. And here this gender is for class A3, and we are accessing all these data member variables of the upper classes into this lower class called A3 derived class, and show display, it displaying all the values on the screen. So coming to this main function, we have an object declaration to A3 only, not A1 and A2. We can define an object or declare object of this derived class A3, and we can call directly get function which reads the data through keyboard like this, and you can enter the data through keyboard. And to calling this show function, it displays output on the screen as the details entered through the function get function. So this is the scenario to understand the multi-level inheritance. In this inheritance type 1, part 1, we discussed the inheritance basic part of information, and as well as the two important types of inheritance, single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. Thank you.